Morning.
Good day to you, sir. Hey, wait a minute, what the hell?
I'm not sure exactly how it happened, but after spending so much time criticizing and analyzing The Loud House, somehow, one episode really managed to slip my radar more or less. Yeah, no ranking, not even a dishonorable mention, nothing on my end. So, either I'm missing something, or how did I manage to gloss over the taunting hour until now? If I remember anything from my first viewing, it's that it just felt like a by-the-numbers episode with flimsy messaging. But in my defense, and knowing this franchise's decline in quality, I'm kinda used to that 6 seasons in.
Ouch.
As sad as that might sound. But from what I've gathered, some people are genuinely insistent that this is one of the worst, if not the worst episode in the whole series. So what gives? Did I not think it through at the time amidst a myriad of awfulness and mediocrity? Is it worse than I initially thought? And is it truly worthy of going down in the same infamy as several others? Does the guy who openly believes that Time Trap is a decent episode have something meaningful to say in this context? Well, let's take a gander, shall we? Okay, Lynn's in the middle of a neck-and-neck football match, and Chandler's annoying Lincoln specifically. For reasons that have never been explained, let alone make any sense. One moment, he's just a shallow popular kid who eventually forms mutual respect with him. The next, Lincoln is his go-to target as a bully, and we never really learn why. But for this episode, that's mostly neither here nor there. Speaking of obnoxious characters, though, Scoots starts pestering Lynn for good measure, I guess. Yeah, remember her? Miss, I'll help you save your baby from a crashing train that'll probably kill her, but I won't do it for free.
You're awful!
Okay, other than vague character motivation, I already see a problem. This character sucks. And not in a you love to hate kind of way. I take it this is Flip all over again, where the showrunners think too much of this dislikable character. It feels like she's one of those side characters that just gets a lot more screen time than she ever deserved. But hey, at least there's no dedicated episodes, so maybe that's why it didn't seem like such a big deal to me in my first viewing. But anyways, she's so distracting that it ultimately costs Lynn the match. Why is she not banned from the stadium? Isn't it kind of a rule to not distract the players too much? Never mind the audience laughter feeling forced. Lynn loses from being distracted, so to cheer her up, Lincoln shows her that she's not the only one in the Loud family with, and I quote, critics. Remember that word choice, it's important. Lola has a pageant judge that thinks her ribbon dance is overused. Rita gets writing feedback that we don't actually hear, it's just angry screaming. Lisa has a colleague who's fed up with Todd's mere existence. Luann gets mean comments on her videos by a guy literally named You're Not Funny.
That's bait.
Mr. Grouse rags on Lynn Sr.'s cooking after trying something other than his lasagna, something the former has shown to be addicted to. And the cafe manager that hosts Luna's band apparently hates their music. Not that I disagree, since we've only ever seen one dang song. But if that's the case, why does she keep hosting them? You're the manager, for crying out loud. One thing you'll come to notice about this narrative overall is that it doesn't bother making a distinction between genuine criticism, a petty heckler, or in some cases, both in one, which makes it even more confusing. But apparently, all this knowledge is enough to cheer Lynn up to where she and Lincoln casually bring them up during dinner, causing their respective family members to feel disheartened and lose their focus by the next day. So, who should the Louds be logically pointing their anger towards, if any anger at all? Should Luna find another place to have gigs where she's respected? Or better yet, can these writers write actual songs for her? What, too meta? Should Lisa grow a pair and tell her colleagues to stop being so petty about her assistant? Or maybe tone down the silly gimmicks? Should Lynn Sr. learn to improve his cooking? Or more realistically, tell Mr. Grouse to buzz off. We all know how grouchy the guy is most of the time, so why take his opinion to heart? Should Lola maybe form a new talent for a change? Or should Luann learn to deal with the baseless comments from attention seekers that don't contribute to anything? Speaking from experience, should Lynn get Scoots banned from the stadium? According to the narrative, screw all of these realistic solutions. Let's just all angrily turn on Lincoln for letting us know these guys exist. What? Yeah, real mature of the parents to join in on lashing out at their son, by the way. Because if there's anything I know about these writers at this point, It's that they just love screwing him over, even when he doesn't deserve it. Not even to build character most of the time, I guess it's just some twisted joke to them. Or worse, another grasp of undertones of identity politics. And to add insult to injury, he's also out of Lynn's good graces. Again, because Scoots won't stop spamming emu legs anywhere in public. This harridan of a character literally can't even walk. Why is this girl taking her seriously or not telling her to can it? You'd think arguably the most hot-headed of the Louds would know to do something about it when it's costing her what she loves most. But whatever, the writers think the hag is funny. Let's milk this garbage for what she's worth. Oh, and let's give her a boyfriend with a large age gap for... Wait, that wasn't a joke? That actually happened? For like the 20th frickin' time, every character, save for Lincoln, is completely dislikable for the second half of the episode. The more I think about it, the more I realize that this narrative almost has the same issue as Force of Habits, dialed up to 11. And y'all already know how I feel about that episode.
Flashback.
This whole episode is just a giant clusterfuck of forced misunderstandings and mischaracterizations.
End of flashback.
Instead of three sisters getting a clue from their out-of-character toxic behavior, the narrative doubles down on it with awful messaging. Only this time, it's more than twice as many family members, some of whom should know way better than this. So what then? Lincoln tells the angry bozos he calls relatives that he has a critic as well. Or rather, not even a critic, just another baseless poser. Okay, side note, whatever happened to him and Chandler being on good terms after that whole haunted house incident? Am I just expected to disregard a rare time that Kevin Sullivan wrote a decent episode? Fair enough. So, what's the big lesson in Lincoln's experiences, to say the least? Chandler keeps harassing him at every opportunity. He doesn't know why. The audience doesn't know why. It's not funny. We're way past the point of treating him like Season 1 Pacifica. And even she was more nuanced than this. So, what's there to take from this according to the narrative? Should he tell him off? Go to the principal?
No.
No matter how disruptive your hecklers can be, just shrug them off and you'll be... Nope, I'm not finishing that sentence with a straight face. How is he supposed to shrug off this? Or this? Or this?
We're talking about this!
Yeah, totally not distracting or disruptive in any way. Just do what you love and don't take any of it seriously. Great, universally applicable message in all of these circumstances. Never mind the family's awful behavior in the process, which was enough of an issue as is. You heard him, kids. Shrug off the haters. The ones that distract you are welcome to keep going, and nothing could go wrong as long as you chicken out. And the ones with real feedback? Well, screw them too. All that matters is serving your own ego. Yeah, I get it now. Now that I had the chance to put my thoughts into writing after rewatching this episode, the more I understand why people hate it, even from just a logical perspective. All these different circumstances with hardly one element in common, and somehow the same terrible message is written off as the perfect solution to all of them. I'm starting to wonder if this is just a reflection of the writer's mentality in general and why we kept getting so many stinkers throughout the years. Yeah, just trust yourself. Your critics can't possibly be right in any capacity. And those that are actually wrong, well, don't bother actually standing up to them anyways. No such luck as blatant domestic abuse? Nah, that's just the internet babbling. Let's practically repeat that behavior here. Is brawl in the family a situation worth calling CPS over? Nah, the boy just needed to stay out of his sister's business at his own expense, while he literally runs away from home for his own safety. Girl bossing, am I right? Sam and Luna are the worst couple on the show? Nah, that's just the homophobes talking. Let's milk them for what little it's worth, while other couples are split up off screen, decanonized with no explanation, or set up beautifully for nothing but another shallow grasp at representation. All in all, I'm not surprised that yet another piece of garbage spawned out of... Wait, Sullivan didn't write this?
Huh.
Mostly everyone behaves dislikably, none of that behavior is condemned in the narrative. Its messaging is shallow and self-centered, there's no nuance in the antagonists, yet they're treated as funny and compelling foils, of which they are neither. And all in all, this is yet another prime example, in a line of plenty, of what's wrong with this series as a whole. There's no grasp on the characters' personalities or how they would actually react in these situations. No grasp on realism, and arguably, no real grasp on actual morality. Sometimes it really feels like these showrunners aren't here to serve the kids that usually watch the show, or really any sort of target audience. In the worst of ways, they're just here to serve themselves. And maybe that's why I felt so indifferent to this episode until it was brought more and more to my attention. In a long line of mediocrity or downright abysmal quality, far from most of the meaningful emotions and heart this show had at times, I guess this way of thinking just felt so predictable in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, I can kinda see why I glossed over it, but nowadays, I see this episode for what it is, and why so many before me resented it well enough. A now uncommon encapsulation of artistic bankruptcy and hubris disguised as sentimentality. And let's just say that if I ever gave this ranking an update for one reason or another, this will not go unnoticed again. Though I gotta ask, after a year and more or less 2 seasons later, would anyone actually be down for that?